everybody, welcome to the Vitruvian Live. Today is Friday, February 28th. Normally the last day of the month, this year not so. So almost March, one more day to go, which is kind of cool because I am having a board game marathon tomorrow, which doesn't mean that I'm going to be there for 12 hours. I'm just going there until I feel like going home. But that's not what I want to talk about in this episode. I want to talk about my crazy projects concerning Portal games. So you know, probably, if you have been on a subscriber for a while, that I'm a big Portal games fan. Robinson Crusoe and all their other games as well, honestly. But and you know that I give demos for them and I do some proofreading sometimes and all that stuff. Now, there are some private projects that I've been working on because of my love for the publisher and the games they make. So, I'm going to show you a couple of things, but stay tuned because I want your help with the newest one. There are two new ones, but one that I want your help with a little bit. So, for some people, maybe I might have talked about this earlier, but I think 2 years ago, I made what's called Robinson Crusoe, the card game, which was meant to be the board game almost completely made into a card game. This amount of cards, it was a player board or a player/scenario board and some meeples and tokens. And it kind of worked, honestly. I put a lot of work into it. It was multi-use cards. They were dice, they were animals, they were events, they were... I don't remember what else they were. Yeah, that's about it, most of it. So they were hazards that you have to stop if you want to, and they were locations as well. And I actually like the idea, honestly. Now that it has been a while since I looked at this, but I showed this to Ignacy Cevicek, and the funniest thing is I explained the idea to him, and he said, "It might sound strange coming from me, but it's too complicated." Which indeed is a strange thing for him to say, but I understand. And he said, if you want to continue this, no problem, you are allowed to. You can put it on Board Game Geek as a print and play, and I will endorse it for you if not. Now, I have not been working on it since, but I might still. Anyway, that's one thing. The second thing is something I'm working on now. I mentioned it in the previous video where I showed you that I finally got Machina in my collection. The first, absolutely first design of Ignacy Cevicek, which looks terrible. I've translated the rules for myself to see what the game is actually. And it looks like it's not the greatest party game in the world. It might need some work to become a little bit better. Sorry, Ignacy, but you probably acknowledge that. But I've translated the rules, and the first thing is you have this bunch of machines that you can make in this game, a whole bunch of them, and they all need certain components to make it. There are some components that they absolutely cannot have on them, and some that you can exchange with two parts or something like that. And a bunch of fluff text explaining what the machine actually is. I've translated a few of them with the Google Translate with the phone, just to see what it is. And they're very funny and interesting. But so far I've still got 5 to go for all the component stuff. So I translated that. But there is a lot of things still to do because there is... How many cards were there? I think 81 or something of these cards, action cards that do all kinds of things. I still have to do these as well. So this is also a project that I'm working on. And if I manage to make an English version to try and to see how it works, maybe I just want to maybe improve some things. Not because I want to pitch it to Ignacy again and say, hey, let's do this in English. I'm not sure if that's possible, and it's also not the idea of this. This is just for me, because this is the first one, and I'm proud to have it, and I want to play it, and maybe make it a little bit better to play, because I have to find people to play it with, and if they don't like it, then they won't play with me. All right, so most important thing now, and that's where I need your help soon. As I also already mentioned, later this year, Portal Games is going to do a Kickstarter for Robinson Crusoe, my favorite board game. And it will be a scenario book, a thick deluxe book filled with scenarios, the old and new, I guess. And the new, that's where it gets interesting. So they are probably going to make scenarios together with the fans, with the board gamers. And as a guy who is absolutely bananas about this game, has a tattoo with a part of the original cover, who was lucky to have a prototype card of the game, who has the cover on his computer background and all that stuff. I want to be in that book. I want to have a scenario in that book. That's something I really want. So I have to work on that. Now, I did in the past start, and I only have to playtest this because I made a scenario once, and this is called Summer Camp. This is actually a demo scenario that I was making. I'm just gonna see if I can find the cards as well. Yeah, there they are. It was actually a scenario where you could learn the rules in 5 days, 5 rounds, and each round had their cards. So it needed a deck of cards and each time day one, you drew a card, it gave you some explanation, and then it said go on and try stuff, and then it went to the next phase, and it's every day it said which cards or whatever you needed to do. I didn't get to playtest it yet, sadly enough, but also it has cards that you need, so it's probably not interesting for that Kickstarter book. So I need your help a little bit finding great ideas. If you're not planning to do one yourself, of course. If you're planning to do a scenario yourself and send it to Portal Games, then keep your idea to yourself. Of course, it's your idea. But maybe we can work a little bit together as the community here on the Vitruvian Gamer channel. Now, I had a few ideas. And most of them I haven't done anything with, just write down. I've written down the name. I have the Da Vinci's Truth, where you go and find on an island where apparently Leonardo da Vinci, which is another passion of mine, hits some texts and maybe some inventions and all that stuff. And you might go through a story and see what exactly is Da Vinci's Truth. How was he such a genius? Was there more than just him being smart and figuring out a little bit about helicopters and all and tanks and all that stuff, or was there more to it? Another one that I had in mind was, let's see, that's the most important one, was the island of Moreau, which is coming from a story, a book, a famous book. It is a free IP, so it can be used. And in that island, there were all these creatures that were made together from different creatures, and they became intelligent, kinda, and they can talk and all that stuff. So I was thinking about going back to the island of Dr. Moreau, and an island that is roaming with mystery and with creatures that are actually two creatures together. So if you would encounter a creature, then you would draw 2 cards of the creature deck, and you roll a die maybe, and depending on the result, it becomes mutation of those 2 creatures. That was an idea that I had, and it would follow a little bit the story of the book as well. I'm not going to go too much into it now, but it was an idea that I also really had. And then the last one was a little bit more of a crazy idea that I wanted to do, because I'm probably too introvert to actually do it, but I wanted to make a scenario where you work with QR codes. So if you come upon a totem, you find a part of the island of a totem, you get a QR code that you have to scan. And the story would be that I would go as a vlogger to an island somewhere and film my adventures, but I get lost. Nobody's heard of me for a while, and you would be searching for me. I would link small films, small parts that I filmed on those QR codes, where I talk about my dangerous stay on the island, and I would be all filthy, and I would film on a beach or in a forest where I'm hunted by animals or whatever. That was a crazy idea that I had. I never did anything with it. So that's a few things that I was thinking about, but I'm pretty sure my loyal viewers are also very good in finding interesting ideas, and if you feel like sharing them and putting them here in the comments, or even send it to me through email, vitruviangamer@gmail.com, maybe we can discuss a little bit about it, and maybe we can figure out some story that we can make into a scenario for Robinson Crusoe, the deluxe scenario book that will be on Kickstarter. It would be a next step in my Portal Games dreams. I kind of have a lot of Portal Games dreams, as you might realize. Yeah, that's it. So let me know in the comments below what you think of all these crazy things that I've done so far, that I'm doing, that I want to do, and let me know if you feel like, hey, I want to share some ideas and that you can work with. And yeah, if there's no new ideas, I might continue with the Moreau, the island of Dr. Moreau thing, and I might sometimes drop something here on the channel and ask your opinion, ask your feedback, and we'll see what happens. Also important, I don't want to include the Mystery Tales to it, because not everybody has a Mystery Tales components. So just I want to work with the components that come in the base game. That's pretty important as well. So that's it. Have a great weekend, folks. I think I will. I hope. I should. And I will see you all, I guess, on Monday. I don't think I'm going to be able to film anything in the weekend. So thanks again for watching. See you all very soon. Thanks again, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.